As human beings, we are always on the hunt for something new. We're always traveling to get to a better place. All our decisions should allow us to become better versions of ourselves. So why should our smartphone choices be any different? They should have cutting-edge technology, all the new latest features, and a great design. My name is Bharat Nagpal. Today we're going to be reviewing the new Samsung Galaxy S8 and the S8 Plus. So let's get started. It's 2017. A flagship phone has become really important, and everyone defines a flagship phone differently. For some people, it's the most expensive phone. For some, the best looking phone. For some, the one that gives the best specifications. And for some people, it's the way they look at their phone. And for the others, it's the way others look at their phone. With the Samsung S8 and S8 Plus, Samsung has managed a really good mix of all of the above. But is it truly the right choice? So while the Samsung Galaxy S8 and S8 Plus have come after the Note 7, they're a completely redesigned phone. Now, if you consider the first S series phone from Samsung and now consider the 8th S series phone from Samsung, a lot has changed in terms of the design. Now we have Gorilla Glass 5 on the front as well as the back of the phones. They've been designed to an all-new look. They look exceptionally great. The new all-display front along with the all-glass back looks exceptional, and everyone who I've shown this phone to wants to hold it, wants to take a look at it, wants to feel it in their hand, and they've only had good things to say about both the S8 and the S8 Plus. Now, Samsung may not have changed the overall design of the phone, but they have evolved the design completely, and they were so much invested in the display of the front that they've relocated the fingerprint scanner from the front to the back. It's in an awkward position. You're not going to really enjoy it. They're expecting people to understand, much like Apple, by removing the headphone jack, expected people to understand. They've relocated the fingerprint sensor at the back. Now you get an all-glass front. There's no physical buttons over at the front. You can press at the bottom edge of the phone to get a home button feel. It vibrates. It gives you a good feeling. You get used to it really quickly. They've also invested heavily in a virtual assistant called Bixby, so much so that they've given it an independent button which sits on the left. Earlier you could remap it. You can't do that anymore. Samsung themselves blocked it. Personally, it should be a choice of the consumer, but I'm sure they have their reasons. They really want Bixby to work, so they're sort of going to force it onto people and expect them to use it because there is a physical button that you can tap on and pull out Bixby. The other things in Bixby are also somewhat half-baked. The Bixby Vision does work, but it does not give you shopping results as it would in the US. You can use it to identify things, but that's about it. If you do press the Bixby button, you do get a set of cards that will become more and more important as per your usage. But then again, it's something that Google already does with the Google Assistant. Interestingly enough, Samsung has made the phone incredibly thin. The S8 and the S8 Plus both are really comfortable in the hand. They feel really sleek. They are really sleek. They're really slim. But they've managed to keep the 3.5mm headphone jack on the bottom, which Apple said is too thick to put in thin phones. Samsung's managed to do both, get a really nice design, get a 3.5mm jack at the bottom, and managed to get IP68 waterproofing on this phone as well, which, as we know, we've tested in the past and we're going to test today as well. Turns out to be a really good deal for a lot of people who buy this phone. The S8 and the S8 Plus have one of the most unique designs this year. And despite that, they're also IP68 water resistant. Now, if you're a video person like us, you'll be happy to know that you can start capturing video before you place the phone underwater, and it continues to record underwater, and it does a fairly good job of it. So with the S8 and the S8 Plus, they have launched it between 57 to 65,000 rupees, which is a pretty decent pricing, considering that they have all the features, everything in both the phones. And if you're looking for a larger screen and a larger battery, you can go for the S8 Plus. If you want a smaller screen, you don't want to spend that much money, but you do get a smaller battery, you can simply get the S8, which in itself is a pretty fantastic phone. Both the phones are identical. In fact, we're shooting this on the S8 while I have the S8 Plus in my hand right now. Even though the design of the S8 and S8 Plus makes them slippery, gaming on the phones is a breeze. You will find black bars on either side of the game because most game developers have not adjusted to this aspect ratio. The Exynos chipsets can handle mostly anything that you throw at them, and day-to-day performance is pretty impressive. While running benchmarks, you'll find that the S8 and S8 Plus, even though are supposed to be identical, Samsung seems to have underclocked the S8 to possibly save a little bit of battery life. Samsung has also made several important changes to the UX, and you'll truly start to enjoy them once you start using the phone. The user interface is lightweight and it does not affect the usage of Android in any way. You still get some of the things that Samsung has done in the past, and even though multi-window is a feature of Android Nougat now, Samsung was one of the first to implement it. You'll also enjoy things like the iris unlock and the way it is inbuilt into the system, and if you don't want a really secure unlock, the face unlock is one of the fastest ways to unlock your phone. Things like the camera user interface is also pretty impressive, and you have new filters that allow you to add stickers, much like Snapchat, onto your face before you click a picture or a video. One of the best things for the S7 and the S7 Edge last year were the cameras. So much so that Samsung hasn't updated them too much. They've changed around the sensor a little bit, tweaked around with the performance of the image processing thanks to the new chipset that they have in there. But more or less that the cameras are the same. What's good about that is that the cameras were not bad to begin with. So they're excellent cameras, especially if you're doing photography, especially if you're on the go and you have wide horizons, lots of light, and a lot of color to differentiate between. The HDR is fantastic. You can leave it on auto HDR to get some of those great cloud shots that we have. Another good thing about the camera of the S8 and the S8 Plus is that you get a lot of shooting modes, including the Pro mode, that allows you to get a whole lot of control on your shooting capabilities. So if you're clicking pictures, you want the right color, the right shutter, the right aperture. If you know all of those things, you can really delve into it. For example, we're walking out here, but we're shooting on the S8 while I have the S8 Plus in my hand, and we've got Pro mode settings on. So all in all, if you're really keeping the package intact, if you're doing a lot of photography, this is one of the best phones that you can get. Samsung has also played it safe with the S8 and the S8 Plus, while LG still managed to put in two camera sensors, one for telephoto, one for wide, while with Samsung you have to remain in wide at most times. A little bit of digital zoom will not hurt you. The camera in itself, if you're doing run and gun photography, if you really like just clicking pictures, posting them online, this is, again, like I said, one of the best phones that you can get because it's less hassle, less trouble for just getting that perfect shot. So not only is the Pro mode for photography on the S8 and S8 Plus pretty fantastic, it also allows you to capture video using the same Pro mode, so you continue to get control over your shutter, your white balance, your ISO, all of those things. What's also interesting is that if you are capturing video, you may not get a third-party microphone like we do at all times, so you can simply listen to the audio on the S8, which is recording right now, and you'll start to see that the audio is pretty fantastic. You do get a lot more of ambient, so you can hear the birds, you can probably hear our footsteps, but it's still pretty amazing audio as far as onboard mics are concerned. So if you're considering getting either the S8 or the S8 Plus, the S8 Plus definitely turns out to be a better bet, especially considering the battery. On an average, you should last through a whole day of battery, but if you're traveling like we are right now, I found myself connecting the S8 Plus even to the charger quite a few times, which can turn out to be a problem if you don't have a USB port handy or if you don't have a charging port handy. But what is good is that it only takes a couple of hours to fully charge the device, whereas it only takes a few minutes to get about 50% of the battery. So if you're charging the S8 Plus, it takes about 35 to 40 minutes to get about 50% charge on the phone. And if you're charging the S8, the charge time is lesser. So you can keep those factors in mind, but on an average, they should last you a whole day. The quality of phone calls along with the network performance on the Galaxy S8 and S8 Plus is good as well. You can use two SIM cards or expand the storage by using one SIM card and one micro SD card, which can be up to a 256GB micro SD card. Samsung may have launched two interesting phones in India. They might be the best phone this year as far as at least the Android ecosystem is concerned. We still have a lot more phones to come down the line. But the S8 and S8 Plus, they've got the latest chipsets. In India, the Exynos chipsets, overseas A35s, which are Qualcomm chipsets. We found the Exynos chipset to be quite reliable as far as performance is concerned. It's right up there with the A35. It does heat up while recording video a little bit, but it's bearable and it does not affect the phone in any way. Battery life could have been a little better. They've done some interesting changes to the design. Of course, everyone's aware of it. Wider displays, a flush camera at the back. I'm not a fan of the fingerprint sensor. In fact, I don't use it at all. I've started using the face unlock because I don't have anything secure on my phone. But a lot of people will like using iris unlock, as well as you get completely used to the physical home button. So you now activate the screen. Instead of looking for the power button, you activate it using the physical home button, which all of these things start to grow on you. One thing I don't like at all is the Bixby button, the dedicated Bixby button. One reason is that Bixby is not active right now, at least until Samsung does launch Bixby. And even then, a lot of people may not want it. So it's a button that sits on your phone that you're never going to use. They are the most beautiful phones. They are eye candy. Everywhere I've gone, people have asked me about them. People have looked at them. People have wanted to hold them. And that definitely makes it important for a lot of people, especially in India, who want to buy these phones, to be able to show them off, to be able to flaunt the fact that they're holding a flagship phone. For a lot of the other people, just owning a beautiful smartphone and using it for the next year or two is an important aspect. So all in all, the S8 and S8 Plus are pretty complete. They are expensive, definitely, at least 10 to 12,000 rupees more expensive than the US market. But that's usually the case with every smartphone ever. And we just have to get used to them. At least for flagships, the prices are going to remain like this. Despite the fact that Samsung claims that they're manufacturing these phones in India, the pricing seems to be still high, and I truly do not understand that. While there may be a lot of phones from LG, from HTC, from Google, even the Pixel 2 is going to come out. The Xiaomi Mix is an interesting phone to look at because they were the first to show a really wide screen-to-body ratio, over 80%. The S8 is a good example of how a phone should evolve, and it truly makes it an interesting phone to purchase and own, and it definitely makes it a worthwhile phone if you're looking out for a new flagship, at least in 2017. Like I said, the year is still fresh and a lot more phones are about to come out, but this definitely has set a benchmark. For as long as aesthetics and design is concerned, the S8 and S8 Plus are true winners. As far as performance is concerned, the S8 and S8 Plus are true winners. As far as the camera is concerned, the S8 and S8 Plus are true winners. So in our book, the S8 and S8 Plus are definitely worthy purchases if you're looking out for a new smartphone.